Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. I want to welcome all of our new viewers on Roku worldwide, as well as Amazon Fire. And hello to all of our loyal viewers who've been with us since the very beginning on all the other platforms. Our show today is the Mallorca Connection. And the star of our show, Mr. Roland-Friedl, is going to be telling us about a very incredible journey that he went on that was not just physically, but it was also emotionally and mentally challenging in many ways. Let's welcome our dear friend, Roland-Friedl. Hello.
Hello to jacalyn. Hello to our audience. Hello. Great to be back on the show.
We missed you. Where have you been?
Actually, working like crazy. Working like crazy. And because of my work, I lost my voice for almost 2 weeks. So yeah, but I'm back.
Fantastic. Well, you've got a nice color to you, and we're glad to have you here. So, Roland, for people who haven't met you before, because we are on new platforms, we're actually starting with Zizzle TV on the 15th. I'd love to have you share a little bit about your work as a coach and a speaker and author and an entrepreneur. And you also have your own platform where you are interviewing people as well. So tell us more.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us. My name is Roland. I'm originally from Austria. I always see myself as a free spirit and world traveler. So I've been actually on every continent except Australia for work or for education and studying and learning. So my background is after university, I went to the corporate world, just a short time, 3 years. I left it, started my own businesses. The reason why I left the corporate world, I had a very fast career. I was the youngest member of board of director, but I wasn't happy at the time. I didn't want to work for somebody else. I'm not very patient. I hate long meetings and just all this ego shit in the top management. So I left this company and started my own businesses. And from this experience and this expertise, some friends came over. Actually managers of huge companies, and asked me if I can train their stuff in sales and management. So I started more and more moving into consulting, which I've done for almost 3 decades, very successful all over the globe in 3 languages. And besides that, as a business trainer and coach, I also coach private people who want to live, I would say, a same kind of real lifestyle like myself. But I also went into the men's world, men's improvement. We do men's festivals, men's coaching. I'm very engaged in health. So I had the show before, the It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. So I'm very into health and nutrition, into staying fit and healthy. And I'm also very into environmental stuff. So save the planet, or respect Mother Earth, how I call it. And yeah, my own channel. Thanks for mentioning that, Dr. Jacalyn. But it's just in German, to be honest, guys. So if you speak German, you're more than welcome to go to Roland's Media on YouTube, and you find some very interesting videos or video podcasts I did with many people. I guess 200 the last 8 months or something like that. So that's everything about me, more or less.
That's quite a lot. So congratulations.
Yeah, you know what? I'm still writing books. I started as a sales manager for a European Swiss company. I started as a German manager for a digital platform. So we have 24 hours, It's all about.
That's so true. And we're going to talk about the pilgrimage to Camino Santiago in a moment, but I wanted to just touch on something because I think it's really important. You were talking about you were in the corporate world for a short time and then you went out on your own. And I know there are a number of people recently, I've even seen a lot of things on Instagram and other socials about people going out onto their own and then they're having a hard time. So it's a journey when you have your own business. And I know you talked, I think on this show or the other one, about how many hours you actually put into your business. And I don't think people realize that. I think they think the journey is going to be much shorter or it's not going to be as consuming. What can you share about that when you start your own business?
Well, actually, if you want to start your own business, you really have to have a good product, a good service, a good idea, and don't do it for the money. So, of course, we all want to make money, but it's not about the money. To be honest, you have to be really passionate. So, I mean, if you say, if people say you're passionate, it's good. If people say you're fucking crazy about your idea, that's perfect. So you really have to be crazy about what you want. You just want to do it. You have to do it. So it's the first thing when you wake up in the morning, and it's the last thing when you go to sleep or to think about it. So it has to be your priority number one. So building up a business successful is going full in and paying the price. And to be honest, and also have a very good business plan, a very good financial plan, a good strategy, and get some good advisors from profound professionals who already have done their business and are successful. So go and ask very successful business to become maybe your mentor or something. That's I highly recommend. But it's about paying the price and do the right stuff, and yeah, do it smart and clever. And I was working, I don't know how many hours, I didn't count them, from Monday to Sunday over 3 years, to be honest. No vacation at the time, beginning.
I really appreciate what you're saying because I know people that they seemingly are always on vacation. And I love that. I haven't been away since 2018, I realize. And that's okay because I'm doing what I love. I feel like every day is a gift and a vacation. Just it's a lot of work and that's okay.
I'm traveling. I'm always traveling, but people believe I'm on vacation. I said, no, of course I'm sitting on a beach, but it's my laptop in front of me or whatever. I'm working. I just have a nice view, but I'm still working.
Yeah. One thing that you said on another show that we did, I think we've been doing this show for 2 years. I don't even know. It's been a long time. But one of the things that you said was that wherever you go, your problems go with you, your mind goes with you. And I think people, they don't realize that. So for example, if you're going to go on a pilgrimage or you're going to do some type of retreat, your mind is coming with you. So how do you process? Because I know you mentioned earlier about your watch, and right before we did a show, somebody took your Rolex and you just had to come back from it. How do you get your mind engaged so that you're not staying in a place of negativity and you're not focused on what you don't have, you're focused on what you do have?
My own experience, but I was reading a lot of books and listening to successful people. So I had an understanding in my brain, but it took me some time to understand it from my heart. And I said, it doesn't make any sense to think about why it happened to me, feel like a victim. What is gone is gone. What is dead is dead. What is rotten is rotten. So, it doesn't make any difference. So I stay focused and I focus on the next thing because past is past. When somebody's stolen to you, learn from it, and that doesn't happen the second time. But it's done. So why worrying? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't bring, for example, my Rolex back, or it doesn't bring your car back when you crashed it or whatever it is. No, not at all. It happened. Learn out of it, but go on. Keep going. Keep focused. I can really get very fast out of my head. Absolutely, because I learned it. It doesn't help me. It doesn't support me. It doesn't bring me the things back.
Yeah, it's yeah, I've been thinking about it. It's really, it's true. But some people have this unique ability to be able to let go, like in a flash, something happens and the next thing you know, they're smiling and they're moving on. And I wonder, is that something we can learn? And is that healthy? Because don't we have to process things? Like, for example, when you went on this pilgrimage, you had to make plans before you got there. You had to figure out from a physical perspective, how are you physically going to be able to do this? Did you have the right gear, the right shoes? And then where were you going to stay? And did you have the food? And what about the rest areas, et cetera, et cetera? So you had to have a plan. Then you actually executed the pilgrimage. And then afterwards, obviously, you've got to have some, I don't want to say fallout, but exhaustion, maybe revelations that you came up with. So there is a lot involved, even once you make a commitment to do something.
Yeah, there can always happen something. So, but the point is, sorry, I also face challenges like everyone else out in the world. No more, no less. But it doesn't stop me. And a lot of people are so afraid or have fearful anxieties. I'm fearful sometimes. I'm scared, but it doesn't stop me. For me to be brave means fear plus the first step. It's always about doing the first step. No matter how much scared you are, just do the first step and get out of this anxiety. But there can always happen something. Yeah, man, that's life. That's life. I mean, everything else would be fucking boring. Sitting at home all the time, hoping that the roof is not breaking over your head. I don't know.
I love the fact that you always say that there is no box. It's not like being outside the box. The box doesn't exist. So
Absolutely.
would you say when you thought about this pilgrimage, I already know the answer to this, but for our viewers, did you have any type of fear? Did you think there was any type of risk associated with putting yourself out there? Because if you think about it, and I don't know how old you were at the time when you did this, but as we get older, we are more susceptible to injuries. Like I hurt my wrist, I think spinning, and it's still not right. I just went for an X-ray. It's been like 3 months. It's still, so the point is we don't recover as quickly. So did you have any concerns for your own health when you decided to do this?
Well, first of all, I was 47, so I did it in 2000. I did it in 2011, the first time. Health issues, not at all, because I was always fit, more or less. But I was not used to walk long distance. In 2000, actually 99 to 2000, I had a very bad accident. I was a marathon runner. Unfortunately, one of my best friends, we did the Berlin Marathon together. He passed away yesterday. So I did marathons and long distance, 24 hours runs, 100 miles runs and stuff like that. And then in 1990 to 20 in the winter, a car hit me, and I spent, I don't remember, 6 months in hospital and then rehab and all the shit that they told me I would never run again. And I did. I made 2 marathons, Vienna and Berlin again, with a bad time. But I found out it's not very healthy for me. I have knee issues in my knees, so I started hiking, long distance hiking. So I knew that there was a risk, absolutely. But I was not scared. What I was a little bit afraid of, to be honest, I didn't prepare the trip at all. I was a little bit scared about rainy days, because when rainy days, your shoes get wet. It's not fun when you're on a hiking tour, because you don't try out. That's what the only thing. I was a little bit scared about rainy days. That was the only one.
And then also when you're walking and the dirt can become mud, right? And that's kind of hard to, plus, I don't know if you carry an umbrella, you're carrying an umbrella. That's going to be a pain for 18 hours a day.
Actually, I was a lucky guy, to be honest. So I left end of April, and I was working from end of April, because you can start end of April, because otherwise there's too much snow in the Pyrenees. So I left end of April, I guess from the 26th of April until the 25th of May. But I had so much luck in this 4 weeks walking. I only had one day, a little bit of rain of 4 hours or something like that. So I don't know, when angels, they say when angels travel, it's sunny. I don't know, but I was so lucky with almost no rain. So one day it was a little bit of rain. This was everything. So this was my own anxiety, to be honest, because with wet legs and wet shoes, it's not fun.
No, well, you really lucked out on that. So tell us, for people who don't know, what is a pilgrimage?
A pilgrimage, actually, it's a religious stuff, to be honest. I don't make one thing. I didn't do it for religious reasons, but it's a religious stuff. So your pilgrim is, you walk. few miles, 100 miles, a few hundred miles, wherever, do a holy Christian place. Maybe you walk to Rome, maybe you walk to Jerusalem, or you walk to Santiago de Compostela, where you're part of the holy St. Jacob are there. So it's a pilgrim way, meaning you're in full contemplation, you're by yourself, you do a little bit fasting, you just walk and be by yourself. You just, I didn't use my mobile phone and no phone calls or something like that. So just being by yourself and being very, very in the present moment. And people walk for different reasons. I was just curious, to be honest.
And that curiosity is what got you to where you are today, because you're always out there trying new things and putting yourself out there. And I really admire that.
Yeah, I guess 2 or 3 years ago, a friend of mine, she had a large house, or still has, I guess, in Vienna, and I could use her seminar room for free. And I did health days and health talks. We talking about just blood supplementing and stuff like that. And one day she said, "Roland, I have another guest who will speak." It was a former a radio moderator from Upper Austria. And, he lost his job, divorced, and all this crash down. And he went 3 times or 4 times, and he made a multimedia show. And she invited me to see the show in multimedia shows. He did a presentation on this walk. And I was so inspired. I said, wow, that's pretty cool. One day I'm going to do this. I saw his show a second time. And then I guess 2 years later, I started. Yeah.
How about that? That's amazing. I want to go back to the pilgrimage. You mentioned that people will do this for religious reason. Is that because they're looking to find religion, or their life, maybe their life isn't going exactly the way they want, and they're praying that something will change?
Yeah, you have different people. Actually, the youngest was 18 and the oldest was 70 something. So in this range. Most people go because they're broken, lost their job, lost their partner, because divorced or passed away, or any issues, any traumatic issues in their life. And that's why how to go on this way and to find themselves again. That's most people are. Most people are that. Then there are more and more people who do it for just a health aspect, or a sportive aspect. You just want to do it as fast as possible. That's not a build show, it's more a race. You see more and more young people who want to do it in as short time as possible. And then are people like myself who just do it because they're just curious. I said, I don't any expectations. I'm not seeking enlightenment or whatever. I saw it, as I mentioned, I saw this multimedia show. And I said, wow, cool. 4 weeks away, no phones, nothing. No planning. I never knew the day before where we'll sleep the next night. Never, ever. I had no idea. I didn't want to plan. I really want to stay in the present moment. So around lunchtime, I made a short lunch break. I decided how long will I go, and then I used my smartphone, to be honest. I switched it on lunchtime. I said, okay, how many miles will I go? And then is there a hotel around? So to be honest, I didn't stay in a hostel, because I don't care to stay with 40 people in a room for one night, but not for 4 weeks. So I wanted to have my own room, my shower, maybe some spa or something to relax. So I went to hotels. And to be honest, I spent a hell of money, because normally you just pilgrim, you can do it for very little money. But I spent a hell of money in 4 to 5 star hotels, to be honest.
I'm right there with you. So just to get an idea, so there's some people walking, some people are running, are people riding bikes and rollerblading? I mean,
yeah, rollerblading is impossible, but mountain bike, you can go on mountain bikes. Yeah, on a mountain bike. Yeah, because it's very hilly and yeah.
And what about just basic questions? What about a bathroom? What do you do about that?
Sorry?
A restroom, bathroom break? What do you do?
There's a lot of nature around. And the point is, you will always find a small village where there's a coffee shop or something like that. So.
Okay.
But rest of nature.
So what would you say were some of the key takeaways that you had as a result of spending a month doing this?
Because as I mentioned before, I was a businessman, always very structured, planning ahead, and It was for me a learning process to be very in the present moment, not to plan ahead. This was my goal. I don't want to book a room in advance and have some pressure that I have to be there, or maybe I want to walk longer, but I booked a hotel and I have to stay. So my learning was to be in the present moment, trust the process. You always find some food and you always find a room. That's no issue about that. Being in the present moment and trust the universe. And the other thing is listen to your body. Listen to your body, meaning don't go too far, don't go too fast. For example, you always meet a lot of people, especially I was walking with my dog, so everybody knew me on the way with my dog. But sometimes I just left a group of people or a person when they're too slow because this wasn't my rhythm. But I also made my learnings when I joined somebody who was too fast. And I just was walking with this person because it was a nice conversation. And I had a very bad experience with this. This was very painful and I was almost giving up. Yeah. So my learning is being in the present moment, trust the moment, don't plan ahead, trust the process. You always find a warm bed and you always find a warm meal.
I like that. Thank you. Now, were you able to do this entire month of walking with one pair of good walking shoes, or did you switch off and on?
No, I had one pair. I had one pair of good walking shoes. Not the new ones. You should walk a little bit before them. Don't use brand new ones. Actually, my left leg, where we had a backstage conversation, was full of blisters. I stopped counting them because I didn't cream my legs in the beginning. That was a really mistake. I didn't do that. I said, I'm a man who needs a cream. I didn't do that, unfortunately, but after 3 days, it was full of blisters. And the point is, when you're full of blisters, or you're starting getting blisters, you cannot cream them because otherwise, the leukoplast is not working. So it was painful. It was a lesson. Yeah. And yeah, it was full. Really, I don't know how many I had. I didn't count them anymore.
Now, when you say blisters, you mean from the sun?
No. On my leg. You call it blisters?
Your foot was covered with blisters.
Yeah, my foot. Yeah, full. I hope it's the right term, but I think it's blister, isn't it?
Yeah, it's blisters. Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
you used another term. I didn't know what it meant, but so so the blisters, if you think about it, the pain from blisters, it's almost like every step you took, there was a reminder that there's pain in life and you have to keep pushing forward.
Well, actually, what we've been talking at the beginning, it's about your focus. You focus on the pain, you focus on the walk. It's about where your focus is, where your energy is. I didn't focus on the pain because I knew exactly when I focus on the pain, I will give up. It drives me crazy. So I moved my focus away. I was looking at the landscape, I was seeing the animals, conversation with other people. I was walking together on a day. So my focus was not at the pain at all because this is not helpful. This is absolutely not helpful. No,
yeah, exactly. I know for myself with ulcerative colitis, sometimes the pain is so severe, you're almost like, you feel like someone stuck a knife in you and you have to think about something else. You've got to just take yourself away from that and keep breathing. The breath work, I think, really, really works. So would you recommend doing this pilgrimage alone or with a partner or part of a tour group?
Well, actually, I started with a so-called friend. Actually, it was a customer of mine. It was a huge mistake, but it was a huge learning. We didn't finish together. So I would recommend do it by yourself, even not with your partner. Do it by yourself. So because you have to find your own rhythm. Because if somebody's too slow, you get pissed off. If somebody's too fast, you get exhausted and maybe you hurt yourself. So no, if you go with your partner and say, okay, we start here, we meet for lunch here, and then we meet in a hotel or in the hostel for staying overnight there. But you have to find your own rhythm. The best way is to be by yourself, but because you're never alone. There are many people around.
So you can make new friends also.
Yeah. I still have a friend. I met him on my trip back in Germany. We're still in contact since 13 years. Yes, 13 years now.
Now, wait, you just mentioned on your trip back, so you can't just go one way. You have to go one way.
So no, I made my trip back when I came up from Sicily now with my motorhome, so from the winter. No, I went one way, but there are people who go both ways. No, I went one way. That was enough. No. You know what, Dr. Jacalyn? I can focus on whatever it is. I can fast for a long time. Tell me what it is or whatever I want to do. I do it, but no day longer.
Right. No, I understand you. I'm very goal oriented like that as well. What point of the journey, if you can recall, did you say to yourself, I hope this is going to end soon? Or did you never say that?
Oh, I did. I did. First of all, I had a painful day. I mentioned it. I met a young girl from Bavaria, and she was a hiker. She was much younger than me, and she told me she was doing 50 to 60 kilometers. I did 29 a day, so 30 kilometers. So 80. I did 18 miles a day. She did almost double a day, and we had a good
What?
conversation. Yeah, every day, every day. She was in good shape. My goodness. But anyway,
Yes.
and but we had a good conversation. So I was walking much faster than I used to. So I was walking. We did 38 kilometers on this day, so much more than a normal day. And about 2 kilometers, so 1.5 miles before we make a stop for the night, I had an injury in my left leg because I have an issue there. Sometimes my muscles are rotten there from my sports active time. And I couldn't step on my leg. It was so painful. I couldn't step on my leg. And I said, oh my gosh, fuck, I have to fly home. It's over. I'm done. It's over. I have to fly home. I cannot even step on my left leg. It was so painful. So the last 1.5 miles was really on one leg, getting closer to this village. And she said to me, she was an angel. She was an angel. And this is what I say, you really find an angel on this way if you trust the process. And she said, where are you staying? And I said, well, I know there's a 5-star hotel, Spanish 5-star hotel. I did no reservation, but I guess we will get a room because it's not a very tourist area. And she said, if you don't mind, I would share the room with you. And she's a therapist. I said, oh, yeah, cool. So we checked in, had an amazing 5-star hotel, huge suite. And she really was working on my leg almost the whole night, massaging it with a cream. It became very hot, my leg. Then she had a lot of ice from the ice machine on the floor, ice and hot cream, ice, hot cream, ice, hot cream, ice. I don't know how many hours she tried to heal me. And she did some taping. And I guess we slept 2 hours or something like that. And then in the morning, she said, oh, I'm going to leave. And I said, no, she wants to pay for half. She said, no, you're invited. Please let me pay. No. She wants to pay half of the room. So she paid half the room and she disappeared and I never saw her again. And I started the morning very slowly, trying to step. Oh, I can step on my leg. It's painful, but I can step. So slowly. And after 3 days, I was fully recovered and I could continue on my normal pace, on my normal speed. Yeah, this was really an angel. But
That's incredible.
at the moment, I thought, okay, this was back up, flying home. This was done. But this was a real angel on the way. Yeah, absolutely.
And did you ever get her full name? I mean, or try to find her?
No way. No, I
She
tried.
was just there for that moment, and then that's amazing.
Maybe she was not real. I don't know. I don't know. Now, but she told me that she's doing, I don't know, 30 miles a day or 40 miles a day. So there was no chance to see her again. And she disappeared in the morning. Boom. She paid half of the room and she disappeared. And it was amazing.
Well, that's how you know she's
angel.
real, because she paid half the room. So.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't dream her up. So when you think about the other journeys you've been on in your life, how was this journey maybe a step, another, well, let me put it this way. You're traveling around in your motorhome, which now it's well over 2 years, right? 2 years in March. Yeah. So that's a journey. Every day's a journey because you don't necessarily know exactly where you're going to end up or who you're going to meet. Or so with this pilgrimage that so many people have done, I've never done, but obviously people from all over the world have done it. And so it's a certain distance. How is that different than the journey you take every day with all of nothing's really planned out in advance?
Well, what's the difference? On the Bildschirm, you have a goal. You have a final goal. You have a final destination where you want to arrive, like this church in Santiago de Compostela. That's one difference. So you know there's an ending. There's an ending. That's the difference. You know there's an ending, and however it's painful or however it's you're exhausted, you know that there is an end, and this keeps you motivated and keeps you going. That's the difference than traveling around in a motorhome for years, because I don't know when it's over. So that's the difference. You have a final goal. You want to go. You want to join this event in this church. Even I'm not part of this religion. That's the difference. And but the rest is just the same. You don't plan much in advance. You never know what's expecting you the next day. You never know what kind of people you're meeting, where you're gonna sleep or stuff like. But I know that I sleep in my motorhome, but I don't know where I'm gonna park it. But the main difference is just there's an end. There's an end. There's an end where you end up. Yeah, your final destination.
That makes a lot of sense. And since I've known you, you've had a lot of different challenges that you've had to face and address. And we were just talking about this on another show. There's some people who never seem to progress because they're asking that question, what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? So how do you deal with the what ifs from preventing you or getting in the way of you continuing to move forward and be successful?
Well, I'm not a stupid greenhorn, but of course I plan something. Of course I have a strategy, I have a plan, an action plan, of course. But I also know that there must be enough space for flexibility, because you never know what's happening. And some people really they try to stick to the plan, and then they're so frustrated because something happens and they're out of their mind and they don't know what to do, and they're just like frozen. I plan, of course, more or less. I did plan the trip. What did I plan? I mean, with this Bildschirm, I know how far it is. I was planning, to be honest, 33 to 35 days. So I thought maybe I'd do some rest days. I didn't do it because I found out when I rest, I don't continue anymore. So 28 days. I planned, of course, what kind of stuff I will need to bring with me. That's what I did. Yeah, that's all. So the main difference for me was not planning, and as I said before, just trusting the process. If you plan too much, it's not good. So let life surprise you. Who comes into your life? Like this angel or other amazing people I met, amazing restaurants I've been. Really, I was not suffering. I told you backstage, when you do this Camino Francés, so I started in France, I crossed the border, the Pyrenees the first day, you really walk up very high and down. You cross 5 wine areas. The most famous one is the Rioja area, but you also the Navarra and other ones. I had every day. It's funny because the show before I said I don't drink any alcohol anymore. That's true. But at the time of the Bildschirm, I was drinking almost every day a bottle of wine. Yeah, almost every day. And the reason for that is so I can fall asleep, and yeah. It was fun.
Amazing that you could walk all that because you have to be somewhat dehydrated, and then to have the alcohol, that makes it even worse.
Well, actually, I was drinking a lot of water during the day. I guess 3 liters a day at least 3 to 4 liters a day. I was drinking water. Yeah, at least. Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to discuss, because people are always asking me, how do you get so much done? And you seem to be doing so many different things. And I really have a positive attitude, and I like to learn new things like you. I'm very curious. But sometimes I do think to myself, should we be planning for things to happen or disrupt? But how do you do that? Because there's so many things that could come into your life that you don't even know what they are. And then you're focused on so many things, and then something completely different happens.
Well, that's what I love in my life. It's there's always a surprise. It's never boring. For me, having this, I have a daily routine too. Of course, I have a morning routine, but this daily routine: getting up, getting to the office, 9 to 5, getting home. I don't know, having food, going to the gym, sitting in front of TV show. This is too boring for me. This is not life. I want to really live life to the fullest, and this means doing some risk, not being stupid, not being a greenhorn, but taking some risks and well, everybody talks about moving out of the comfort zone, but that's what it is, being curious, learn new things, and as I said, trust the process. I mean, don't be stupid, don't be too risky. I mean, you don't have to jump from a bridge into a river and you don't know how deep it is. I wouldn't do that at all, but I would try to the water out first, how deep it is, and then I jump. So just go for it, man. So many people are doing this, this mind fuck. They're thinking about what can happen, should I do, should I not do, and they never find out if it's working for them. Just do it. If it's not working, you can always stop. I mean, if Camino Santiago is too much for me, I can always stop and go home and say, why not? I mean, it's up to you. But I think we only regret things in life that we never did. Of course, sometimes we made a mistake. Of course, sometimes we do some stupid, silly stuff. I said, "Oh my God, why did I do this?" But that's part of our journey. It's part of our learning. And I mean, this the salt in the soup, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, definitely, definitely. So, at the conclusion of the pilgrimage, did you say to yourself, "I'm never doing this again," or have you in fact done it again?
Oh, no. I would love to do it again. Absolutely. And I would love to do it again, but I would love to do another way. There is a one, it's called the Via de la Plata. It's going from Sevilla to Santiago de Compostela. And actually, it's a little bit crazy, but it's 50% more. So it's a 2 months walk. I would love to do that. But the point is you have to hike long distances without any rooms, without any hostel or any hotel. So you need somebody. So my dream is to find a partner, and maybe she's driving the motorhome and she picks me up there and we go to a hotel and then go to something like that. I would love to do that. I'm also a huge fan of, there's this amazing 2,000-mile trip on the east coast of the US. I would love to do that with my dog, but there's no chance. It's a 6-month hike, the Appalachian Trail. So I love stuff like this. Yeah, Appalachian Trail with my dog would be quite cool, but I know it's impossible. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Why?
It's a 6-month trip. It's a 6-month trip.
Oh my gosh.
It's a 6 month, 2,000 miles, 6 months, and you have to end up in time, because otherwise they close the mountain. The last one is a mountain peak, and then it's too much snow, so you have just 6 months, and it's a rough way. Wild animals, bears like this. You hang your food in the tree, so you're not stealing your stuff like that. And I guess you don't see people for days, and you have to bring your own food for 10 or 14 days and stuff like that. But this would be cool. But to answer your question, yeah, I would love to. I for sure I will do the Via de la Plata one day. Yeah, it's a 2 months walk. Yeah, I will do that.
Well, let me know how it goes. I won't be doing it.
I know people from all over the world, from the US, from Canada, many people from South Korea, from Australia, from all over the world. Yeah, people and gentlemen, well, not for me, but a hell of Brazilian good-looking ladies looking for a European Catholic man on the way. So many Brazilian girls. Yeah. But I was not interested. I was just walking. But many Brazilian girls that are looking for a Catholic Christian European man.
Now we know where they all are. Okay. Roland, it's time to close out this episode of the show. So can you please let people know, how can you help them and what's the value you can provide to our audience?
Well, how can I support you guys? Well, I mean, in general, you're more than welcome to get in contact with me. I guess at the end, it's all about sharing and caring and networking. And I'm always curious about your story. I mean, you don't have to call me or write me if you have a problem. You don't have to have an issue to call me. Just send me an email at office@roland-friedl.com. It's ROLANDFRIEDL, roland-friedl.com. If you need some business coaching, my team and myself, we are consulting companies all over the globe. We can do this. We can do some personal coachings, whatever it is. You're more than welcome. But again, you don't have to have an issue to contact me. You're more than welcome to share your story. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland. It's always a pleasure to see you. Will you be back next week?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Check. Thanks to our audience. All the way. Thanks for joining. And don't forget, subscribe on YouTube.
That's right. Thank you, Roland. Bye for now.
Bye.
Well, that concludes this episode of the Mallorca Connection. Our next show is coming up. It's the Listening Mentor program. If you'd like to be a guest on this or any of our other shows, please do go over to our website, which is usaglobaltv.com, and you can go to book your session. We have a number of new programs that are starting within the next couple of weeks, and we'd love to host you as well. We're going to sign off now with some words from our sponsors. Please do take a look and a listen, as they truly have value to bring as well. Bye for now. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you. This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of the world's first tooth fairy ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Carruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Abella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book Abella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Abella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
To learn more about Zane, contact her through her website, zanecarruth.com, ZANECARRUTH.com. Order Zane's books and merchandise. Contact her about being a keynote speaker at your next event.